Walk for 30 minutes and your stress hormone starts dropping the same day. Your body resets faster than you think. While walking, inside your body something wild is happening to the stress hormones, the fat cells and the brain chemistry. And most of people have absolute no idea what's going on. If you walk for 30 minutes, especially after dinner, your body enters fat burning state and brain optimizing state that most of people never trigger. So let's talk about cortisol because this hormone it's basically your body's drama queen. Cortisol is released by adrenal glands. These are two triangular glands that sits on the top of kidneys and its job is to keep you alive when things go sideways. By that, I mean tiger chasing you, cortisol. Inbox full of passive aggressive emails, cortisol. Someone eating your leftover from the office fridge, massive cortisol release. Now, here's the problem. In 2025, your brain can't tell the difference between real threat and a fake one. So, cortisol stays elevated chronically. When that happens, it tells your body to store fats, especially around your belly. It tanks your sleep, spikes your blood sugar, and basically turns your metabolism into slow, confused sloth. But this is where 30 minutes walk comes in like an absolute hero. The second you start walking, your muscles begin contracting rhythmically. And for your body, this is pretty exciting. Your body is basically, oh, are we doing this? But behind the scenes, your sympathetic nervous system starts dialing down. Your heart rate rises slightly, blood flow increases, and your body starts shifting from stress mood to what scientists call active recovery mood. Think of it like switching your phone from power saving mode to normal mode. This is where it gets really interesting. Around 5 minutes, your hypothalamus, the tiny control center in your brain, the size of almond, start receiving signals that says, hey, we are moving, we are okay, nobody chasing us, calm down. And it responds by reducing the signal that triggers cortisol release. And your adrenal glands get a message shut down. Studies shows that moderate walking can reduce cortisol levels by 12 to 15% in a single session. That's your body physically getting rid of stress. Like someone slowly unscrewing the bottle cap that's been too tight for all day. Now, here's the part people sleep on. As cortisol drops, your insulin sensitivity improves. And when insulin is low, you are in moderate aerobic movement, your body switches its fuel preference. It stops reaching for quick glucose and starts tapping into stored fat. This is called oxidative fat metabolism window. And walking, specifically at a brisk but conventional pace, is almost perfectly calibrated to keep you in it. Running actually pushes you out of this window because your body needs faster fuel, but walking sits right in the sweet spot for the golden ticket. Meanwhile, your liver is processing leftover glucose from your last meal. If you walked after dinner, you are essentially telling your liver, do not bother storing fat tonight. Post-meal walking, even just for 15 to 30 minutes, has been shown to blunt sugar spike by up to 30%. Diabetologists actually recommend this more than almost any other lifestyle intervention. Okay, now let's understand what happens within 20 to 30 minutes. This is the final stretch. In 30 minutes is where your brain gets its upgrade. Your body starts releasing BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists literally call this a miracle GoPro for brain. It's a protein that encourages new neural connections, improves memory, sharpens focus, and directly counteracts the brain shrinking effect of chronic cortisol. Now, what happens after you stop walking? The cortisol lowering effect doesn't just end when you get back inside. Your nervous system stays in a parasympathetic rest and recover state for hours afterward. Your cortisol stays suppressed into the evening, your melatonin rises more naturally, and deep sleep stages improves. A 2019 study published in Journal of Sleep and Research found that people who walked regularly in the evening fell asleep faster, stayed asleep longer, and had measurably lower cortisol levels. So one walk tonight and you are still winning tomorrow morning. Now let's talk about how people ruin this. Because there are few ways to do this completely wrong and accidentally make your cortisol worse. The number one reason is if you are power walking, like you are late for a flight, huffing and puffing, heart rate spiking into zone 4 or 5, you have crossed the line. High intensity exercises rises cortisol. It's a stress signal to your body. The target tone for cortisol reduction is conversational pace. You should be able to talk. If you can't speak a sentence, slow down. You are not trying to race anyone. You are trying to decompress. Second mistake. You walk outside and spend 30 minutes doom scrolling the news, responding to text, and checking Instagram engagements. Congratulations, you have kept your nervous system in a full stress mode the entire time. The cortisol lowering effect of walking is amplified when you allow your sensory system to rest. That means no stressful input, music is fine, chill podcast is fine, but arguing in comment section while walking, you're wasting the whole process of walking. Third mistake, if you close your laptop after a brutal day and immediately start walking while your brain is still running through everything that went wrong, you will spend first 10 minutes barely getting the cortisol benefit at all. Try this instead. 2 minutes of slow nasal breathing before you start. Or just sit outside for a moment, give your nervous system a running before takeoff. Now let's move to last mistake. One walk doesn't fix the chronic cortisol dysregulation. Your cortisol rhythm is trained over weeks and months. One amazing walk followed by 6 sedentary days is like drinking one glass of water and wondering why you are still dehydrated. The data is overwhelming. Daily moderate walking, even just for 20 to 30 minutes, is more powerful for your metabolic and hormonal health than occasional intense gym sessions. Alright, here is simple, no fluff takeaway. Write this down because this is important. When to walk. The highest leverage time is 15 to 30 minutes after a largest meal, usually dinner. This is when blood sugar is peaking, cortisol from the day is accumulated, and your body is most responsive to metabolic shift walking creates. Second best, morning. Before you check your phone, your cortisol naturally peaks the first 30 to 45 minutes after walking, called the cortisol awakening response. A morning walk helps normalize the peak and sets your stress baseline for whole day. Now let's talk about what's the technique to walk. You must walk brisk but comfortable. No breathing is preferred, no screen if possible. Please avoid your smartphones or at least nothing that activates your threat repose. Outside is better than treadmill. Natural light, varied terrain, and sensory input from nature have all been shown to produce strong cortisol reduction than indoor walking. If you can get trees or grass, even better. There's actually research on this called forest bathing. And yes, that's real scientific term, not something someone made up at wellness retreat. The boring stuff works. It always has. You don't need new supplement, a cold plunge, or a biohacking device that costs more than your rent. You need a pair of shoes and 30 minutes. Your cortisol, your fat cells, your brain, and your future self will be absolute, insufferable grateful. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. And thank you very much.